All right, anyway, so why self-storage now? Okay, so we're going to get in real fast to the history of the real estate market, kind of what's going on with the storage facility. Interesting, times are changing, but like, why storage? Why now, right? Okay, so if you were on a webinar, a previous webinar, you've seen this JPEG before, but I really love this JPEG because it gives an overall view of essentially like what's going on in the commercial real estate market since like February 21st, when like coronavirus started coming into play, right? So what are all the markets that are going to take the biggest hit? All right, that's the question. What should you not be focusing on right now? Okay, so here is what you should not be focusing on in the commercial industry. Okay, so senior housing, all right, you definitely don't want to be focusing on that, right? Skilled nursing, right? Lodging, you know this, like short-term rentals and Airbnbs are just, they're going to have a hard time. I think even till the end of the year, they're going to have a hard time because people are just not going to do a lot of traveling this year. They're just not, you know. Gaming, student housing, malls. So any huge, you guys already know this, any huge big buildings, all these like, Ross's and Marshall, and then like a Target and a Lowe's and all these big like retail places, you're going to see like a lot of those places are going to close down, right? A lot of them are going to close down and then they're just going to be empty. And it's like, you don't want to be like investing in anything about that either, right? So manufactured homes are going to take a hit. Mobile homes are going to take a hit, right? And strip centers, offices, definitely don't want to be investing in office buildings right now. You don't want to be buying any place where there's like, you rent your office out, right? Because everybody's just going virtual now. And I think a lot of people will actually stay virtual even after all this goes on, because they're like, why would I pay for, you know, we already got it all set up. Like, why would I go pay that additional expense when we're now running our company perfectly, like from our home, you know what I'm saying? So like, why would we need to do that? So I think a lot of the office space is going to decline. Apartments are going to have a big hit right now. You know, especially if you have the newer, more expensive apartments and stuff, because you see in Atlanta all the time, you see this like, you see these new construction of these big apartment buildings like down, they're charging like $2,000 a month. I mean, it's just going to be like so expensive. Like not a lot of people are going to be able to afford that, you know? So single family rentals are going to take a big hit, right? But not, you know, not a super big hit, but they're going to take a hit. And so you got to just be aware of that. Medical offices, right? And then self-storage, look where it is. Look where it is. It's like it's a third to the last, right? 16%, and I'm minus 16%. So yeah, we're going to take a hit. All right. Everybody's taking a hit. Yeah, we totally get that. And I bet you from these numbers, if you actually look deep into those numbers, that 16% is going to be big box office, right? It's going to be CubeSmart and U-Haul and, public storage and climate controlled and all this. And a lot of people are going to be like, I just can't afford like $250 now. I can't even barely afford $150. So I'm going to move all my space. And this is what we've seen in our mom and pop shops is a lot of people are like, I just can't afford $150 a month. So we're going to move to our space over to your place and just pay like $60 a month or whatever, you know? So we're seeing a lot of that in our little mom and pop shops. So luckily I feel like mom and pop shops are really going to be like kind of the foundation of the storage industry, and we're going to just hold it strong, right? That's my hope, at least. And then cell towers. Wouldn't it be great if you had like a storage facility and a cell tower on the same piece of property? You can actually do that. You can buy storage facilities and then put a cell tower up. I've seen many storage facilities do that, and then they get this residual income as well too, right? And data centers. Okay, so this is going to be like the next over the next few months. This is basically what you're going to see. So what I love, of course, is what you see is that self-storage is like one of the very few industries where even in a recession, even in a downturn, it's still doing good. You're still doing okay. All right. So I have no idea. I literally have no idea, all right? But all I know is that I'm not going to stop looking for properties. I'm going to keep contacting sellers. I'm not going to give up. I know passive income is the best way to build long-term wealth. And I know that there's something on the very last one that I can't read because it's being blocked right now by me, so by Zoom. So, but all I know is that I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm not stopping to look for properties, okay? And I hope in the same respect that you're doing the same thing too. Okay, so this is actually from an article that I read from Marcus and Millchap, and you can find it. I'm going to give you the link to where you can find it in just a minute. But essentially, if you don't know Marcus and Millchap, I mean, essentially they are like, they're like a data research company or whatever. They do a lot of different things. They're a brokerage. They're a brokerage, and then they do a lot of data research and all this kind of stuff. And so they basically put out, and it's on in the commercial side, all right? They put out an article, and it was on the coronavirus and like what's happening and stuff. And this is like one of the inserts from there, but it said, with interest rates at an all-time low, real estate investors have a significant acquisition and refinance opportunity, the report states. Real estate is a long-term investment that is particularly well positioned to withstand financial market turbulence, all right? So right now, I'm telling y'all, now is the time to be focused on real estate, investing in all aspects of investing, and then especially storage facilities, right? Especially storage facilities, okay? While Marcus and Millchap forecasts commercial real estate to remain stable, bearing a major economic disruption, its outlook for self-storage is particularly positive, right? Particularly positive. Space but demand for self-storage units will experience little, if any, impact from the coronavirus, right? Isn't that awesome? Right? So this is like a report coming from like one of the largest commercial data research companies. So for me, that kind of gives me hope. Now, essentially, we have no idea what's going to happen, but essentially, like, like when Goldman Sachs says something, you kind of listen. It's the same thing in our industry. When Marcus and Millchap say something, we kind of listen to it, right? So, I mean, honestly, I'm in the storage world a lot. I'm talking to a lot of investors, and honestly, nobody's scared. No investor that owns storage facilities is scared. Yeah, like we may have had a downtick this month and like people moving in or whatever, but like so far so good. We're all doing really well. I mean, essentially, that's what you want when you're learning to invest, right? You don't want to have that, that worry, right? So in the storage world right now, and what we're doing and everything that me and my husband are doing is like, we just don't have that fear. Like we just know everything is going to be all right, right? And so that's what I want for you, is long-term wealth, passive income, and I want you to create that over time. And so that's kind of why I push storage facilities and learning how to push storage so well. Okay, so here is the link for the article that I just read. And actually this is inside self-storage. The ISS is like the national organization for storage facilities. So I highly recommend you go to ISS, check out everything. They have all kinds of, they have like, what's it called? They're not doing it now, but they have like, the trade shows, and like they have like a spring and a fall where you can go and learn and educate and meet vendors and all kinds of things. And then they have like the website where they're educating you and stuff. So this is the website where I got the article from. So please check it out, and then just go. I mean, almost every day there's an article coming up, the coronavirus in the storage industry, what's happening. And so you can kind of just educate yourself on that, okay? Okay, so my personal opinion is, how do investors weather the storm, right? And this is from me just educating myself over the past couple of years, really kind of like paying attention to like investors that are actually doing well and making money. And I'm telling you right now, these are the three things that they do. These three things, right? And this is what you got to do. So for instance, like in our storage industry, like you can just in our storage facility company, these are the kind of things that we're focusing, or in like South Atlanta RIA for me, or in like, my Diamond in the Rough company. We are, all they do is they act early, right? So if you know me, I've been preparing for the downturn, literally preparing for the downturn for probably a year and a half. I've already known that the downturn is coming. All right. I've been buying storage facilities for, 3-4 years now, but literally preparing for the downturn for the past year and a half. So those investors that act early are the ones that are going to make it through this time, right? They took a long-term perspective, right? So just like, you need buy and holds, you need something that's going to give you that residual income through the downturn. And they focus on growth and not just cost cutting, right? So what's happening right now is all these businesses are like, shit, now what I gotta get rid of my expenses, cancel this. I mean, I've seen like people are just like cancel, trying to do this and just, and trying to figure it all out. But the truth is, and what I'm focusing on right now are like essentially like how can I grow my company? Now is the time right now to focus on working on my company, building it up, getting the systems in place, getting my marketing in place. I mean, getting everything in place so that over the course of the next couple of weeks, when you can just start, when you can just start focusing on just sending out letters or however you're going to be focusing on for your marketing. Okay. And we'll get into that in just a minute. But those are the 3 things. All right. Smart investors do these 3 things. Okay, what's the single most important thing that you should be doing right now, right? For me personally, and this is, I'm telling you, I have talked to everybody about this too, and these are the things that you should be focusing on. Number 1 is you've got to get your credit in order. You've got to get money in order. You've got to understand cash is king, right? The more cash that you have, then the more you're going to be able to buy, more you're going to be able to to grow for your portfolio, right? You've got to get your credit in order. You've got to start working on credit repair. If you've got bad credit, you've got to start working on that right now. And you cannot stop looking for property. You just can't, all right? So even everybody's bowing down. Everybody's quiet right now, except for the funnels or whatever you want to be doing in order to keep moving forward, right? Above all, you need to invest in some sort of a community, right? And be a part of some sort of a community, right? So that you can like not, not get so into your head, right? So yesterday, for instance, for the Southland area, we had the virtual vendor palooza. I mean, all day long, there was just, one speaker after another, and then all the community of the Southland area were on there talking and asking questions. And in the chat, they were just going crazy, and it's just like, even when you're virtual, you still need that, right? Especially now, because we're just sitting here like, going, just like, whatever, doing whatever, working, or just going with our family, hanging with our family. And you need to definitely be investing in learning how to invest in real estate. And it doesn't matter what niche. Actually, you can watch my webinar that I did yesterday. I did a webinar, and it's on my YouTube page. Okay, so you can find that there. But essentially, it's which real estate investing strategy should I be focusing on right now? And I go through literally every single one of the strategies that you should be focusing right now and in the coming months as we go into the downturn. All right. So please, if you take some time, you can go and find that on my YouTube page. Okay.